He would have turned 68 years old today. Today would have been Anthony Bourdain's 68th birthday. He took his own life now 7 years ago. He was 61 years old when he took his own life. He was the Hunter S. Thompson of the kitchen. I, just counting my friends in life, have so many friends from the restaurant industry. I've always shared a kinship with those in the restaurant industry for all the reasons of romance that Bourdain is attached to, the misfits in the pirate ship in the back of the house, everyone coming from a different background. The kitchen is an absolute meritocracy. It doesn't matter if you're handsome or ugly, if you're fat or thin, if you're white or black, if you are, if you even speak the language, it doesn't matter. It is a total meritocracy. How good are you at your job right now, tonight, in this dish? Because if you can get it done, you can work here. And if you can't, you won't. Like, I love that. I love that. This is not about diversity. This is not about satisfying a whole bunch of your feelings. It's about getting this fettuccine Alfredo out to frickin' table 11 as fast as humanly possible. That's what this is about. And if you can do that, you can stay. If you can't do that, you gotta go. I love chefs and bartenders and people who have a vision that they execute and they run. This is why there were rumors in my radio career that Damon Bruce was hard to work with. No, Damon Bruce was not hard to work with, but Damon Bruce had a vision for his show, and if you helped him execute it, he was really easy to work with. If you didn't, then he was hard. My name was on the damn show. So that's all that mattered. I had the final word on everything. I have always liked the genius. I guess the best way to say it is like the genius bully. The genius bully is harder to find these days. And maybe rightfully so, because they can be a handful. But, Bob Knight was a freaking genius, and he was a bully. He had flaws in his character. And Anthony Bourdain had an awful lot of flaws in his character. I mean, way before taking his own life crept in. He, partied a little too hard. He did drugs, but he was genius. Go and listen to some of the prose that he puts into the shows that he did, No Reservations, and all these great travel shows that he did. And it was amazing. Read Kitchen Confidential. Again, this was Hunter S. Thompson of the back of the house. The man was many things at once. I think he was one of the most important media voices of my lifetime. And what a shame that that voice is gone. He was kind. He was worldly. He was generous. He was spiteful. He was a bully. He could be mean. He could be downright rotten. So, I've been able to do a lot of cool interviews. I have always been a big fan of both Anthony Bourdain and Guy Fieri. Two totally different human beings who approach everything in life from the opposite ends of spectrums, right? Excuse me. Bourdain despised Guy Fieri, which was a character flaw in Bourdain. Because Guy Fieri was this incredibly kind, generous, maybe not nearly as skilled a cook or chef, but a great TV host in his own right, who approached things from a, let's just smooth it out and make it happy, be nice, hug and kiss. Bourdain was not that. Like Bourdain would go on one of his No Reservations tour, there'd be like a little setup and he would see it and he would be disgusted. What's the one thing where I think he's like diving in Greece for octopus, and he knew that the tour guide who brought him to do this octopus dive had stored a few bunk already caught octopuses, and like he hated anything that was inauthentic. Guy Fieri is an authentically good person, but was just a little bit too much, put some ranch dressing on that for Anthony Bourdain's taste. And he was brutal to Guy Fieri. When Guy Fieri is literally like running to areas where there have been fires and feeding people. Guy Fieri's a really nice guy. He didn't deserve the wrath of Anthony Bourdain. He didn't, but he got it. That was my least favorite thing about Anthony Bourdain. Everything else about the man, he spoke to me. He spoke to me. His worldview spoke to me. And there aren't a lot of people in the world that speak to me anymore. Thank you so much for letting me speak to you today. I'm very lucky to have you as an audience. I'm very lucky to see so many new names in the chat. So many names that I've been seeing now for what I'm proud to tell you is 299 live Damon Bruce shows at 11 a.m. West Coast, 2 o'clock East Coast time. I count these shows. I count them all. Wednesday's show. Wednesday's 11 o'clock Damon Bruce show will be our 300th show live here together on YouTube. And I do know for a fact that many of you have caught about 299 of them already. So thanks to everyone who's watched 300, 200, 100. And if this is your very first show, welcome. It's wonderful to have you here. Please like and subscribe.